Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I know previously when I recorded a video earlier this evening I said I wasn't going to come back, but this YouTube channel is blowing up for some unexplained reason. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. The analytics don't lie. 500 views here for one video, another 500 views for another video. It is really incredible, and you guys never cease to amaze me. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel continuously, which I hope you will show for the foreseeable future, because this YouTube channel still has a long way to go. I refer to this as a journey, because it's one thing for a guy to upload videos about Descendants and Zombies in the niche he loves so much and show the respect to the niche that he's loved for what feels like forever. But it's a whole different experience and a chance you take on somebody when you hit the subscribe button and you hit the like button, because you joined them on their incredible journey that you girls have had me on for what feels like forever. I didn't even know Descendants and Zombies existed 10 years ago until it premiered. And it was the greatest honor of my life being able to sit down through that entire movie and talk about it days later. I posted my very first video about Descendants over 10.5 years ago, and I didn't really think it was going to amount to anything until it exploded overnight. And ever since the very first video I uploaded about the Descendants niche exploded overnight, I've been here ever since, and I've never left. This is the greatest honor of my life and one of the most unforgettable journeys that I've been on that I know I will never ever forget. More importantly and most of all, I know I will never forget all of you for the love and support you have shown not only to me but to your favorite characters when they were faced with nothing but criticism, and I wanted to take that away from them. So when I moved into this house, all I ever wanted to do was convey a message of kindness, because I never believed enough kind words were said in this world, nor never were enough kind people seen. But I met some of the most beautiful and most kind people in the world who subscribed to this YouTube channel and shared with me their stories about being Descendants fans by leaving it in the comments, by always hitting the subscribe and the like buttons, because the simplest ways of showing kindness are seen by how many times you hit the subscribe button or how many times you hit the like button, and an emphatic message of "I love you, Jonathan" is sent to me every single time. I can't even tell you how many times I have been somewhere in the world that I didn't want to be, probably on a date perhaps, and then someone would send a notification to my phone from my YouTube channel saying they liked my video, or they left me a comment of such inspirational thoughts for my next video, and I would be left in the dark. But in all honesty, you guys, when I felt like I had nobody, were the only ones that I ever had left. And you know, we've been through a lot together on this YouTube channel. I know it's only been a year since this YouTube channel re-premiered after I was gone for 7.5 years, but we've been through a lot in the last year. And I've got to know all of you for the content you love and the content you appreciate and how much you love Descendants and Zombies. So because I've gotten to know you through the power of Descendants and Zombies, I have never ever wanted to let you down. And that is what I'm going to do for the next at least 5 years, is talk about Descendants and Zombies, if not for the rest of my life. Because honestly, I would love the opportunity to talk about Descendants and Zombies for the rest of my life. For the powerful music, the powerful script, the powerful actresses who I love dearly. I fell in love with Ruby Rose Turner from the very first moment I knew who Ruby Rose Turner was. I looked up everything from her favorite soda to her favorite color. I wanted to know everything about Ruby Rose Turner so I wouldn't say anything that would ever hurt her. My goal in life was to never ever hurt Ruby. My goal in life was to say nothing but sweet things about Ruby Rose Turner, and I like to believe that some way or somehow you guys helped me accomplish that, because you were just as big a fan of Ruby as what I was. And together, we've seen the best of Descendants. We have cried through Descendants. We have laughed through Descendants. We have been sad through Descendants, the moments where stars have left the franchise and never been heard from again. And through it all, you guys have always had me. While Dove Cameron wanted to close the book on her Disney Pass, so too Sophia Carson, Ruby Rose Turner. You guys have always and forever had me, and I want to make a promise to you, a solemn vow, that no matter who leaves the Descendants franchise or who comes into it over the next 5 years, you will always have me, and you will have me for the rest of your life to help you make sense and to honor the Descendants franchises when others didn't want to do that for you. Because these videos pretty much are just videos that criticize your favorite Descendants stars and leave them in tears. And I think that Kylie Cantrell deserves better than to be left in tears every single night of her life because she feels as if she did something wrong, either to you or to somebody in a relationship or to one of her friends. It is really ridiculous, and it really broke my heart to see that Kylie Cantrell was subjected to all this, because I was the biggest Kylie Cantrell fan ever. I came from out of nowhere, I know, but I remember watching Kylie Cantrell on YouTube many years ago when she wanted nothing more than to sing and dance like all of her friends. And her parents gave her the opportunity. Her dad helped her produce this very professional YouTube channel, which had over 500,000 views in a year. I mean, that's killer, girl. That is amazing, and Kylie Cantrell deserved more profound respect for that than anything else in the world. Far away from the criticism that she received. And I just wanted Kylie Cantrell to know that people do love her, and as long as Kylie Cantrell exists in this world, she will always and forever have me, much like she will have each and every one of you who have been incredibly supportive of her. Because if not for you guys, Kylie Cantrell wouldn't be in the position she is right now to take over. The character Red has exploded as a phenomenon for the Descendants franchise. Nobody ever thought she would be as big of a phenomenon as what Dove Cameron ever amounted to, but I think that she has definitely surpassed the legacy of Dove Cameron because she goes above and beyond the requirements of a celebrity to stay in touch with her fans. She's always reaching out to her fans. She's always offering helpful advice no matter what a fan may be going through, and she's always making you feel as if you're a part of Descendants, and that's really invaluable. That is really something that is irreplaceable in my opinion. And so too is Ruby Rose Turner, because I don't think there's ever been a genuinely kind girl portray a character such as Bridget as kind as what Ruby is. Ruby is a beautiful person, and I just want to say this, that Ruby has really inspired me to be a better person. Ruby has inspired me to spread a message of kindness that I can only hope is being heard by so many people. And I know through the power of this YouTube channel it is reaching people. It may not have as incredible of a reach as the Disney Music YouTube channel or what have you that posts Descendants videos every couple of days or every couple of weeks. But it is reaching people with the over 54,000 views that have come in on this YouTube channel and the over 2,000 watch hours that just happened overnight for this YouTube channel. It is truly unbelievable, and it is an experience that I know that I will never ever forget. Discovering the power of Descendants of Zombies is something that really touched my heart, because I was talking about a lot of things on the radio. I was providing commentary for video games, movies, TV shows, what have you, and I wasn't really being taken serious. I was just a guy basically shooting videos out of his parents' basement at a low-cost budget. And now I'm shooting videos out of my office. Not much has changed 25 years later, but I think one of the greatest honors of my life through shooting a show independently is being able to see you for who you are, being able to present myself for who I am, and we get to know each other through the power of YouTube, because YouTube has seen so many advancements over the years. I remember years ago when YouTube first premiered, and you could pretty much just upload a video 10 minutes to a part, and your videos didn't really have that incredible of a reach. You couldn't stream in 4K, you couldn't go live, and now, years later, I mean, you can pretty much do everything at your disposal with YouTube, and it's just such an honor to reach so many incredible people with YouTube's incredible reach and the power of Descendants of Zombies. Because if one thing Descendants of Zombies gave us to run away with, it was that there are such things as hope. There are such things as second chances. There are such things as achieving your dreams and your goals, no matter what your dreams or your goals may be in life. You have to set a goal, and that goal eventually becomes a dream. They teach you this in high school after you do an entrepreneurial course, and you have to do everything within your physical power to achieve that goal. And I think that Descendants of Zombies has reached out and touched so many people through inspiring you with their powerful messages of how every dream and every goal that you set for yourself can become a reality. Now, I know there are people with just heading back to school that feel very discouraged about the new school year, but I want you to know that this school year will be a good year for you guys, and you will achieve more than what you expect going into it. I want you to know that I wish you all the best, and I will be here for you every single day uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies. I know my audience level is probably lower than expected because of the summer vacation, of course, bringing a lot of traffic to this YouTube channel, but I want you to know throughout the fall, as we go through Halloween and we go through Christmas, I will be here uploading Descendants and Zombies videos for you guys, because you guys have deserved way better commentaries than what you've been hearing. You guys have deserved way better reviews than what you've been seeing on YouTube, and it's about high time somebody gave you that, because they love Ruby Rose Turner and they love Kylie Cantrell just as much as what you do. Her songs, the powerful portrayal of the character Red, all the roles she previously had on Disney Channel, and how she was discovered. It was amazing seeing Kylie Cantrell become so popular with each and every one of you, and I think she became way more popular than what Dove Cameron ever did. Now, I know there are a lot of people that would have loved to have seen Dove Cameron reprise the role of Mel in the Descendants franchise, and it really broke my heart when she was really turning away from those rumors, because you guys wanted to see that more than anything. You didn't want to accept Kylie Cantrell at one point or another, but I think you gradually fell in love with Kylie Cantrell just like I did. Going into Descendants: The Rise of Red, I knew it was going to be something really spectacular. The music really lit it on fire, and the flow of it was just incredibly beautiful. It was a very different flow from the original Descendants trilogy, and it presented a very different vibe. It presented a vibe of positive reviews, and people couldn't say enough in the way of criticism about it, and that's what really irritated me and got on my nerves. Because I think if you're going to say anything about a franchise that still has a lot of novelty associated with it, you should say something good about it. Because criticism just doesn't always exist in unkind words. Criticism exists in positive reviews. Criticism exists in a positive vibe that a lot of people don't really present on their YouTube channels. I mean, Ruby Rose Turner wanted nothing more in her life than to act and entertain all of you. And through the power of Disney and Coop and Cammy Ask the World and music videos, she had the honor of doing that. And one of her greatest honors, although her time was very short-lived with the Descendants franchise, which I hope wasn't going to be the case going into Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, because I hope more than anybody that Ruby was going to be a part of it. I really hoped that Ruby Rose Turner was going to be given more of an opportunity, but she really did make the most of every opportunity she was given. I was hoping she was going to be a part of the Worlds Collide Tour. Initially, I thought she was going into it. I know she was a part of a lot of stage productions having to do with the original Descendants cast before she was dropped. I'm going to miss Ruby so much. You know, you can bring in Liamani Segura as much as you want, but I will always prefer Ruby Rose Turner because she was just so incredibly kind. Now, I'm not saying that Liamani Segura's character, Liamani Segura's character, Pink, is not going to be kind, because that remains to be seen. But I think she has a long way to go before she ever amounts to what Ruby Rose Turner was. Let me say that. Because there was just something about Ruby's voice being on that song and being a part of the song Life is Sweeter When You Are, which was incredibly satisfying. And I will say this again tomorrow morning on my podcast, because it really inspired us that really kindness does go a long way in this world. And kindness really does go a long way in this world. I mean, how often do you pass by somebody who doesn't even say hello to you after you say hi to them? Or high-five you in the hallway at school? I mean, there are so many times in my lifetime when I've said hi to somebody and I don't even get a response. But do you think I've let that discourage me from my hopes and dreams and becoming one of the greatest YouTubers of all time? No, I haven't. I've always wanted to be someone that would never be forgotten, because one of my greatest fears was always fading off into obscurity and just seemingly being forgotten about. But I know now more than ever that I will not be forgotten through the power of Descendants and Zombies, because my greatest honor was to provide you commentary on the franchises you love so much. I'm just as excited about Zombies 5 happening as you are. I know that a 4-year release window is a long way away from ever happening, but that does not mean that it will not happen, because you can't introduce new characters into a franchise and not expect a story to unfold and to be told, because there is still so much more of a story to be told with Victor and Nova and the characters portrayed by Malachi Burton and Freya Sky, which look adorable together. You know, I've kind of questioned the direction of the Zombies franchise, introducing all these supernatural creatures, but I think I could get into it, and I think I could get used to talking about mermaids, because I've commentated on mermaids many times over the years. And I, for one, believe that mermaids are beautiful creatures. So I'm never going to hold you down from believing that mermaids could exist in Seabrook and exist in the Zombies franchise, after so many unbelievable reviews of Zombies have been compiled over the years. I think that people are just trying to shut down your hopes and dreams of ever seeing a new chapter of the Zombies franchise. And I think that that really needs to stop, and I think that if we're going to say anything about the Zombies franchises, we need to say something in the way of a positive review to really stir the conversation into a positive direction. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I wanted to get the most out of this Descendants and Zombies experience and this incredible journey. And the cool thing is about the future of Descendants and Zombies is I still have so many incredible people to meet. I have still so many incredible people to make friends with, and the honor of my life has been talking about Descendants and Zombies, because as I said, you know, hosting a show out of your office or your parents' bedroom is not the greatest, because you don't really have the greatest accommodations. And I've had the time of my life, despite everything I've had to encounter in my own personal life, on and off of camera, that you guys have shared with me through. And I just love doing this. I really do. I think I love talking about Descendants and Zombies more than anybody ever has on YouTube. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why this YouTube channel is incredibly popular, along with all the crazy stories I tell you about vampire hunting, living with a werewolf and contemplating shooting him, and living on this island that reminds me of mermaids, because so many tales of mermaid legacies are associated with this island, mermaids and pirates. So it's very appropriate that Zombies is coming into a realm now, advertising mermaids and pirates and possibly witches and sirens, which are going to be some of the most powerful forces that Seabrook has ever encountered. And I, for one, am really excited about that. You know, ever since I first heard that Ballad Dreams Come True, that very powerful duet between Freya Sky and Malachi Burton, I said, this is going to be something really special. And I remember watching behind-the-scenes footage going into Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, being incredibly excited to see it actually done in the movie. And both seeing the behind-the-scenes footage and the movie production was incredible. I know the movie was only 90 minutes, and I've often said that you can't tell a story in 90 minutes and complete it, because you really can't. You couldn't do it with The Rise of Red. You can't do it with Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. So you should never buy into what the other critics are telling you, believing that a story's been told and the story's been completed. There is no need for Zombies 5. There is no need for Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland ever happening. We'll see in time, because that's what the critics are not wanting to give Descendants and Zombies, is a chance to give it time, because time is the most precious commodity. I say this because time always runs out. Even when you least expect it, however much time you're allocated in life, time always runs out and time always elapses. No matter how far away you seem from something, it's closer than you ever realize. And because time is the most precious commodity, the question is, what will we do with the time that we're allocated if we had a second chance to go back and rewrite history? Will we tell people we love them more? Will we go back in time and fix the mistakes that we've left behind in our past and tried to forget about? Or do something influential that we never had the chance to do in our past? Will we fix it? I've often wondered about that, because I've often said on this show I'm far from perfect and I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made my fair share of mistakes. But one of the greatest decisions I ever made was to devote my life to talking about Disney, talking about Hannah Montana and High School Musical, with Hannah Montana being honored as one of the greatest Disney legends of all time just last year was an honor of mine. Talking about High School Musical and watching that franchise become one of the most revered in Disney Channel history. And it was argued that High School Musical was the franchise that made everything happen on Disney Channel. And if not for High School Musical's profound success, especially High School Musical 2, every other Disney Channel project would have faded off into obscurity. I think the same argument can now be presented because of Descendants' profound success. And if there's a group of individuals to go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, which I'm here to ensure, it's your Descendants cast. And I just want to make sure that happens long after I'm dead and gone, because one of my greatest fears was being forgotten about. I'm not going to lie about that. I've always had a fear of necrophobia and death coming for me. But having said that, one of my greatest fears is just being forgotten. I'm okay with dying now, because years ago it was something I struggled with, and I know Meg Donnelly has battled with it for years, but I'm kind of okay with it now. As long as I know your favorite Descendant stars will forever have their legacy solidified one way or another. If I can't do it for you, hopefully someone is going to do it, but I like to believe that I'm going to be the guy to do it and help you make sense of it all. But I've just wanted your Descendant stars to be remembered for the legacies they're going to leave behind and be honored in the way they deserve to be honored, because this franchise has had a profound impact on my life, and there's no denying that. And I haven't had any regrets, or I haven't looked back since. To be your commentator, to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies has been the greatest honor of my life, and I'm just here tonight to tell you that I will never ever forget the profound impact that Descendants and Zombies has forever and always had on my life, because I honestly don't know where I'd be tonight without each and every one of you. I'd probably be somewhere in the world I didn't want to be, producing a show about something I didn't have any interest in, and that is the greatest challenge of all. You know, finding a specific niche that's going to accept you for who you are and love you for who you are no matter what you talk about. And I didn't think it was ever going to be Descendants and Zombies, to be honest with each and every one of you. I remember watching the very first Descendants movie, thinking it was absolutely spectacular, thinking it had something special, and it had a whole lot to offer. And lo and behold, it became one of the most popular Descendants Disney franchises of all time, and it will forever and always hold a special place in all of our hearts because of how people have reviewed it, how people have felt about it, and how people have been brought together and are that much closer to some of the most beautiful friendships of all time because of Descendants and Zombies. And I say this because I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen how friendships have been derived because of Descendants and Zombies. And some of the most beautiful friendships that have really stood the test of time. Even when you talk about Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker and Ruby Rose Turner, I mean, they've been friends for what feels like forever. And I give them a profound amount of respect for, you know, just being there for each other when they could make sense of their own life. I mean, Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker went through some of the most brutal breakups in their lives, and they had each other to help them through it. And that's why I've always said that a friendship between two girls is something a guy should really value, because if a guy can't understand you for your true worth and why you're so close with a girl, then there's really no point of you even wasting your time on him. Because I think a guy really needs to reach a mutual understanding with you as to why you're friends with that girl, why you take a chance on her, why you see so much kindness in her. It's because she understands you. And that's like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker's friendship. While people choose to criticize it, I choose to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I choose to look at the good side and the good points of that friendship, because that friendship was really beautiful to me. I mean, this franchise was receiving its fair share of criticism, and then from out of nowhere, here comes Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, and they blow this franchise up in ways that had never been blown up before or expected to be blown up. And to me, that's amazing. Along with your guys' support, Descendants and Zombies became the most revered franchises in the history of Disney Channel, and I will talk about this again tomorrow morning on my show, because there's never enough thank yous that can be thrown out and given and showed to Descendants and Zombies fans. But I think the greatest way of showing your appreciation for Descendants and Zombies fans is by inviting them to come along on your incredible journey. which I never expected. This was the least of my expectations as a commentator over 25 years ago when my first show was streamed. And that was streamed out of my parents' basement, and it wasn't fun. My accommodations weren't the greatest, especially on nights when Mom would have bingo games in the living room. It wasn't a whole lot of fun. But now 25 years later, after my parents have passed away, I am sitting here on this podcast hoping that somebody is going to hit my subscribe button, and my dad's greatest wish is going to come true. His son will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. Because I remember a conversation I had with my dad years ago, and he said, "Jonathan, I think you're going to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time." That was his greatest wish. And he would even tell his friends that he hoped that his son would go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. Because at that time, I invested all my time, all my creative energy, and all my money behind a YouTube channel. And with Descendants and Zombies, it was really a hit or miss. I knew it's what I wanted to commentate on because of the powerful messages that Descendants and Zombies were relaying to us and trying to convince us actually had a chance of existing. And that was the most powerful thing about the script, was that how every dream that you had could become a reality and could happen for you no matter how far away it seemed to be. And that's why at the Worlds Collide Tour, Cardiff Control chose to open up the Worlds Collide Tour by emphasizing that. Because there's never enough emphasis put on how close a dream actually is to you no matter how far away it seems. You know, a dream is a wish your heart can make. I know that's a quote from Cinderella, but because I've been watching Cinderella since at least 1987 and remember it, I just refer to it. I make that reference all the time because a dream is a wish that starts with your heart because your heart is your best friend. Because who knows you better than anybody else? It's your heart. My heart knows me better than anybody else. Your heart knows you better than anybody else. So I think more people should make a consistent effort to trust in their heart, because kindness really does go a long way in this world. And no matter how dark the world may seem, we are the light that can overcome any amount of darkness that we encounter, and that's what Descendants has desperately tried to teach us for many years. You know, I can see why Descendants has 781 million hours of stream time on Disney Plus, because every installment of the movie, every chapter just got better from here on out. And so many people felt inspired by the original trilogy, the new spin-off series. People may have criticized it because they had nothing else better to do, but in that same light, everybody saw the good in Descendants when others just tried to, turn us away from it. But we remained loyal to Descendants and Zombies, and that's why we're all here. And that's why we're never going away. If we have a year to wait before Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland drops, and 4 years from now until Zombies 5 happens for us, then I will go out of my way every day to upload a video on this YouTube channel about Descendants and Zombies. At least one video every day for you, because that's what you deserve. You don't deserve to see videos filled with criticism about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars. Somebody has to do something about that. And somebody has to be here to tell you that everything is going to be okay when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, because I don't want to ever shut the door on Descendants and Zombies seeing its grand finale. I don't ever want to see chapters being finished written for Descendants and Zombies, because I think these franchises still have a long way to go. And I'm just incredibly grateful to be here to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies, and I wish I could have been your voice of Descendants and Zombies more frequently over the last 10 years, but I had a lot getting in the way. But now, I'm a full-time YouTube creator with over 3,000 subscribers, nearly 2,800 watch hours on this YouTube channel. That is incredible. You know, years ago I never ever thought I'd be a full-time YouTube creator, but I just wanted to make a career out of this. I wanted to really shoot for the stars and never look back. And I know now more than I ever have that I've had the opportunity to do that because of all of you. And my greatest honor was meeting all of you. Again, if I didn't say it earlier and you didn't hear me, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, because I honestly don't know where I'd be without you tonight. Probably talking about something on YouTube that wouldn't probably make a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. Probably feeling down on myself, but you guys have given me a second chance at my career. You revitalized it, if anything, and that is the reason why I'll be back tomorrow morning with a new video about Descendants and Zombies. I just wanted to take a couple of moments out of my night tonight just to say thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, and I hope you will continue to show for the foreseeable future, because believe you me, we've still got a long way to go. And I'm excited for this journey. I really am, because there are so many plot twists and turns that could happen for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. There is so much controversy that could ascend with now Red having a sister named Pink, played by Liamani Segura. And I just want to put it out there that I really am looking forward to meeting her next summer, because next summer is going to be a fun time for everybody who's been a fan of Descendants for forever and who have yet to discover the power of Descendants and Zombies, because Descendants and Zombies has had forever a profound impact on my heart. And it really is the greatest honor of my life to be here every single night for you guys talking about Descendants of Zombies, as now the sun is starting to officially set on all of our lives. Remain kind to each other. Keep kindness in your heart, because kindness really does go a long way in this world, and we will talk again tomorrow morning. But until then, just know that I love you guys so much, and thank you for the outpouring of love and support you have shown to the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel on YouTube presently. I can't even thank you enough. I can't even begin to put it into words. Just know I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the love and support. We will talk again tomorrow morning. Until then, be kind to one another and keep kindness in your heart. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, and we will see you again bright and early tomorrow morning.